Oh, hi. It's me, Kristin, up here in the intro of a very, very special episode where Joanna and I got the chance to talk to the one and only Vanessa Bayer about her love of My So-Called Life. Before we get into the episode, I just wanted to tell you a couple of quick things. First, we only have 2 episodes left of this show. How is that possible? We're going to be making a very special mailbag episode for those of you who pledged to support this on Kickstarter. And if you didn't pledge on Kickstarter, don't worry. If we read your email, which we probably will, we will send you the bonus podcast as well. So if you want to send in your questions and comments, do that now. Go, right? At boilerroomcast@gmail.com. Second, we had the most bizarre audio issue of all time that affected the main recording that we did with Vanessa. We personally blame the ghost of Nikki Driscoll. So we used our backup audio for this interview, which honestly I think sounds even more authentically 90s. It's like I called Vanessa on my phone and then Vanessa was like, should we do a 3-way call with Joanna and talk about our favorite show before our moms kick us off the phone? And then we did. And that's what you're going to listen to. Enjoy. And Vanessa, thank you again for being a part of this podcast. You are all going to lose your damn minds at some of the stories that she has to share with us. Let's get into it.
Hi, Joanna Robinson. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. How are you, Kristin Russo?
I'm great. I'm sitting here with somebody very special, and I think that you might know who it is. I think even our listeners might know who this is. Vanessa Bayer. Hi.
Hi, I'm so thrilled to be here. I'm overjoyed.
My favorite thing is your do you know Joanna already?
I started listening to Decoding Westworld, her podcast about Westworld, and I was so impressed with her because Joanna, you to the point where people were getting mad at her because she's so good at watching TV and knowing that she would like predict stuff every week, and people would think she knew something.
Right.
And also the way that she understood that show. Like, I watch so much TV, but I don't feel I have the same skill set or I love your takes on things. Like, it's so.
I'm really glad Vanessa can't see me being like hiding
right now. Under your desk. Yeah.
But I can't wait I'm sure you guys are doing 3 as well, right? I mean,
that is the plan and the hope. But if you want me to tell Dave Chen today that Vanessa Bayer personally requested Decoding Westworld season 3, I will do that. You know?
Yeah, I would. I'm a big fan of his as well, and I'm like, it's just so fun listening to you guys. So please put in a personal request for me. I would love that.
Done and dusted. Well, I'm a huge Vanessa Bayer fan. So I'm really, really, really glad we're not in the same room right now. So I can just quietly lose my shit over this. It's great.
Very nice.
But yeah, so you both are connecting for the first time now. And I haven't, you and I know each other from years ago because I knew your brother,
yes.
Jonah. And so, but we haven't connected in so long.
Actually, Jonah and I did a song on your,
oh my God.
And
oh my God,
on
that's
your
right.
compilation. And actually, I've become such good friends with Kate McCucci. She's like a very close friend of mine. Yeah. And she and I realized we're on the same disc. We're both on disc 3.
Holy shit. Wow. That's like a time capsule in and of itself. Disc 3.
Yeah.
Yes. If you're wondering what Vanessa's referring to, it's the Everyone is Gay compilation, which we did 3 of. And there's a really 2 bangers actually. Kate and you and Jonah both delivered.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was so funny when I was coming over today that My So-Called Life is this thing that has taken the 3 of us and just united us in the way we all deserve to be united.
I'm so thrilled about it. Do you remember that I did write you guys a very long email about
it's my favorite thing.
I wrote
a fan. It was a full fan email. I was saying to a friend of mine, Ingrid, who you know as well, I was like, Vanessa wrote to the boiler room cast at gmail.com, and your email was my favorite thing. You were like, hi. My name is Vanessa, and we know each other because of my brother, and I'm a huge fan. And you sent, I think, a picture even. Did you send a picture?
I took a picture of, because I have the My So-Called Life DVD. It's right over there, actually, because I was watching it last night. The
Amazing.
DVDs. And I wanted you guys to know that there is sort of flannel on the like booklet that comes in the DVD. So.
Amazing.
So, like, let's start there because you love the show.
I'm like,
is this your favorite show? Like, does it win of all?
I think it probably does. Yeah, I love it so much, and actually, it's been so fun listening to you guys talk about it because every time I listen to every week, but I also always mean to watch it, and I never really end up watching it, but I feel so caught up because I've been, and then I watched a couple episodes last night. I watched the resolutions,
yeah,
after listening to your podcast, and then I watched Betrayal last night too, and it was so funny because I actually have so many of the episodes memorized that like I knew what lines were coming a lot, and I also remember certain, like I wrote some of them down, but I also wrote down certain lines that like I remember so well, like the delivery of them.
Yeah.
I kind of want Vanessa to do like a performance, like a reenactment of some of the lines.
I will, of the ones I remember, I will do that. I would love to do
Thank
that.
you.
So you were watching this in real time, like we
Yes.
both were, right? And
Yeah.
so tell us, like, where were you in your life? What?
Oh my God. I think I was trying to figure out, it was 95, 96.
94,
school
95.
year. Yeah. So 7th grade, I think.
Yeah.
And I was so into this show. I had sort of like, I feel like I was kind of transitioning with my friend group a little bit. So I felt like everything that was going on in Angela's life was going on in my life.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people felt that way. And it's so funny because watching it at the time, I got so much out of it. But watching it last night, like, I'm still so impressed by it.
Yeah.
There were a couple things from Betrayal that I was like, okay. But for the most part, it's just like, so, it's so, I by the end of that episode, I was crying. That's it. But like, I just felt like everything that was happening in Angela's life truly was happening in my life. Like, I just really related so much to her, and I just loved it.
Yeah.
I think I just repeated myself for 2 full minutes, but
No, it's great. I mean, the point is that this holds up. You don't have to be Angela's age or close to it, to appreciate this show. The thing I think that a lot of people do find when they watch it as adults is they're like, "Oh, Patty Chase, I'm so interested in you," or at least that's been my experience.
yes,
Yeah.
I've been listening to you guys say that, and I agree with you. Like, you really are like feel for her in a way that when you're younger, sometimes you're like maybe a little annoyed or something.
Because we were just so annoyed with our parents in general at the age I think that most of us were watching the show.
Yeah.
So it was like a default response to just be like, ugh.
Totally.
So you talked about Angela, right? Like that.
Yes.
Was Angela your identifying character?
100%. Don't you think everybody, in some ways, because like, I don't know if it's because it's from her, maybe not. I don't know. So many people I feel like would identify with her, even, I don't know.
Well, it's funny because I think we talked about this on some episode, but a TV critic colleague of mine tried to show the show to his daughter, who I can't remember how old she is. I want to say like 12 or something like that. And she flat out did not like Angela and thought she was unsympathetic. And I was like, okay, I'm like, maybe Gen Z is like, we're not here for Angela Chase. And I don't want to stereotype the whole generation based off this one child, but I'd be interested to know if this character type, which I find very relatable, very human, very flawed, but very human. I wonder if like some of her selfishness or whatever, which I don't have a problem with, because once again, it's very real, doesn't land now. I don't know.
Oh, that bums me out.
I don't know that, because so like, to give a small defense to Gen Z,
Yeah.
I loved Angela in the sense of like, all the interior monologues were from her perspective, and like I identified with that, like just as a teenager, right? Like, you have all these thoughts and feelings, and I thought, I really saw myself in those.
Yeah.
But I wasn't watching the show for Angela as much as I was like really obsessed with Rayanne.
Yeah.
Really into Jordan. So she was like a vehicle for me then, more than like a character that I was like, I love Angela. And I was an Angela. Like I was.
Yeah.
And I think that, I don't know this person, Joanna, who you were talking to, but sometimes I think if we see some elements of ourselves that like we don't want to necessarily see.
Yeah.
Maybe that's happening a little bit. I'm psychoanalyzing this person.
I think we talked about this. I mean, I was closer to Vanessa's age when I Still Called Life came out, and we talked about this before, but I felt very much like a Sharon who wanted to be an Angela. You know what I mean? And then I think you were like an Angela who wanted to be a Rayanne.
Wanted to be a Rayanne. Yeah.
So that's the journey for young women.
Did you dye your hair?
And by the way, I do want to say I'm sorry that I was like, we all felt that way.
No. I mean, I think it's largely true. The show does a really good job of putting you in her head, not just with a voiceover, but like Claire Danes' performance and all of that. I think that's largely true. Yeah.
Oh, I had a Claire Danes story that I want to tell too. I have so many.
You can tell your Claire Danes
I'll
story.
Get into all the okay. Well, I just want to say that I did dye my hair, and I was listening to the Ingrid Michaelson episode, and she was talking about glints, and my friends and I all use glints. It was like supposed to be a 7 to 10 day like
washout, yeah.
But we were all dyeing our hair red too. Now I come from a family of redheads, and my hair wasn't like that red anymore, and so I was partially maybe doing it because of that, but I think I was doing it because of Angela too. And I remember we all had curly hair that we would straighten, so we all had, my friends and I, so we all had really damaged hair, and the color just took to it and like stayed like, so I had like such crazy red hair. And I remember we did, now I'm giving you too much information, but which I love to do. I remember we did color wars or something at school, and so a lot of moms were at school to help with it, and our class's color was like red, and the moms were like so distraught that my mom would have let me dye my hair so red.
Now your job is to find a picture for us.
I'm gonna try and find it
with bright red hair.
Wait, I have a follow-up question.
Yes.
Did you win the color war?
I don't remember.
Oh, no.
I honestly.
I feel like you lost because, like, I feel like if you won, you would have remembered. Yeah.
I was so disconnected from any kind of sporting. It was a sports, thing, but I think we didn't win. But we had a lot of spirit.
Yeah, your hair alone. Yeah, really.
Now, not to be like starfuckery or whatever, but I do want to hear your Claire Danes.
Yeah, we want to hear your Claire Danes
story. It's just that I've always been very obsessed with her, and when I lived in New York, I moved to LA about a year ago. But when I lived in New York, I would always like go walking on the same path that she would like go running on. But it was pretty wide, like a pretty not a narrow path, like a wide. Okay, and she was so instantly recognizable because that crying face that she makes when she's doing My So-Called Life, she makes it when she's running because it would be like, 80 degrees and it's like, and she'd be like running in the heat. I would be walking. I'm like, I'm not going to run through this. Yeah. But she would be making that face, so she was so recognizable. But then, and I also, the other thing you should know is that when I do anything outside, I'm fully covered from head to toe because I'm so crazy about not getting sunburnt, so I would be like fully looking like a weird, like undercover, like, insane person. And she'd be like, running in like shorts and like, making this face. So anyways, then I met her she was in my friend, Kyle Mooney did this movie, Bringsby Bear, which is really great. And I met her at like a premiere party or something for that. And it was such a dream to meet her because she said to me, she was like, do you go walking like I think I've seen you when I've been running? And I'm like, she saw me too. Oh my God. I was so thrilled because again, I'm in full disguise. And also she looks like she's in so much pain, like that it's like, you would think that her mind wasn't registering. Yeah. So that's my Claire Danes.
Wow, that's incredible. I kind of want to know, like, what you're covered. Like, do you have a floppy hat and sunglasses? It would be like
a long sleeve shirt, long pants, like maybe a scarf, like a SPF hoodie, like sunglasses, hat. Like it would be, and it's so funny because if you recognize me, it would look like I was thinking that I'm like such a celebrity. I don't want it, but it's truly for the sun. And I did it even when I used to live in Chicago and stuff. I did it, and people just thought I was like an insane person.
Without being a creep about it, and I don't want to be a creep, I'm gonna now think about what else I think Claire Danes does with her cry face.
Well, exertion. I mean, it seems like exertion. Heat.
Yeah, I told you I don't want to be a creep about it, so I'm gonna think like
cleaning,
like
vacuuming.
Yeah, or also like maybe really hard math problems. Maybe.
Ooh,
Yes.
Yeah,
I could see that. Yeah.
Also,
totally.
like when Well, cutting an onion is too easy, but I was thinking like julienning something. I don't know. I was trying to think like, what do I do that requires a lot of concentration?
Maybe like a holiday meal where you're cooking and there's like a lot of pressure, like a lot of people moving around in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Wow. We could play this game for a long time. I want to let Joanna, and all of our listeners know that Vanessa, you were already dear to my heart, but the fact that you have pages of notes with us on this table, it endears you to my heart so deeply. But I want, we have questions that we want to ask you, but you have things you want to say. So
I have a lot of things.
Yeah, I would love to hear some of the things that you wrote down.
Okay. Well, just to get into story, so I'm not going into betrayal yet. Unless you
that's fine. No, that's fine. We're for you listening, we're anchoring this with betrayal because that's the last episode you heard, and also to give them a little insight into you before you take us into your notes. I wrote to Vanessa and I said we can anchor it to betrayal or we could anchor it to weekend, and she replied, from what I remember, Jordan Catalano isn't really like involved in weekend, so I really like to focus on betrayal. So with that in mind.
Well, what a great segue, because my next story has to do with Jared Leto.
Yeah, great.
Now, here comes a brag. I told this story on Colbert, and you can see, although I could give you this photo. I'm sure it could easily. Anyways, amazing. Okay. So when I was, in 7th grade watching My So-Called Life, I was just in love with Jordan Catalano, as many of us were, but he was truly like my first true crush. Okay. Then, so this story takes kind of a serious turn. So then in 9th grade, I was diagnosed with leukemia, and I still had a huge crush on Jared Leto, but I got to do Make-A-Wish. And so Make-A-Wish, and a big misconception about Make-A-Wish, by the way, is that like people think you have to be terminal to do it, and that's not the case. You just have to have a life-threatening disease. Okay.
So that's all you need.
So anyways, for Make-A-Wish, you can, I believe it's still the same way, but you can meet someone, go somewhere, or get something. So like at the time, it was like the mid-90s, a lot of people were getting computers. You could go on a vacation, you could meet like a celebrity. So my first instinct was like, oh, I want to meet Jared Leto because I have such a crush on him, okay? And so then, I guess I didn't actually do my wish until I was in like my senior year. So this had been quite a few years since my so-called life was on the air. But anyway, so then I thought about it, and then I told my parents, I was like, you know what? I wanted to meet Jared Leto for my Make-A-Wish, but I decided that I'd rather wait and meet him when we're peers. Okay, so what a confident teenager battling. So I was like, I'd rather meet him when we're peers. So instead, my family and I went to Hawaii, which was so nice. But anyways, cut to like, it's like my second or third season on SNL. And I was at the MTV, I think, Video Awards, and I was like introducing Miley Cyrus as Miley Cyrus.
Oh yeah. That was on August 25th, 2013, because it was also my wedding day.
Oh, it's your wedding. That's right. Oh my God.
Wow.
This is why I couldn't go to your wedding. Yes. And Jonah, my brother, came to the MTV Awards, and then he met us. And he met you. Did you guys come pick him up or something? I remember him getting in a cart and going to your wedding after.
Yeah, wow. He like literally had like cans of wine from the VMAs in his pockets and like rolled up. Okay, so we're at the VMAs.
Okay, at the VMAs. And this, what an impactful day for both of us. So then we're in the audience. I'm like, wait, I think I had just presented or whatever. I had just presented for Miley or whatever. And Jared Leto's like in the audience, and he had earlier in the night, I guess, presented. So like literally we had like done the same thing. And I was with our like SNL publicist, Lauren, and he was with his publicist. And basically I don't even know exactly how the story got translated to him, but it was like, I told my publicist, she told his publicist told, all this was sort of like happening while I was kind of standing there. And so he like heard this story. And then like he was so sweet to me, and he like we like took a picture together, and I didn't have Instagram yet.
Are you dressed as Miley Cyrus?
I'm dressed. I had just changed back into regular clothes, but it was such a quick transition because it was basically like I had to be Miley, and then I had to change into my regular clothes because they were doing like an audience shot of me or something like that after. So we had to do like such a quick change. So anyways, that will become important in 1 second. But basically, so he was so sweet about it. And he was like, I'm so honored. Like, you're such a great actress. I truly don't even know if he knew who I was. Like, but he was so sweet about it. And he like took a picture with me. He like wanted to take a picture. And then he put the picture on Instagram. And I wasn't on Instagram yet, but he put it on Instagram. And by the way, I was in such a rush to change that my makeup, the woman who's doing my makeup, like I had this huge splotch of red lipstick like under my mouth. And he took it out for the photo.
He
like,
photoshopped
me.
Oh my
and so
God.
I will just like love him for, I had such, he couldn't have been sweeter about it. And like, and also the thing that's just so crazy is that we were like doing the same thing. And it's also insane because like, if there's so many shows that were out when we were that age that like, if you liked someone from that show, like what are they doing today? Like the fact that like, not only like, it was so cool that I was able to be in that position to like be at the MTV Awards, but like he was still like 20 years later, he was still at the MTV, like he hadn't like
faded away. Yeah, totally.
So it's like
I'm looking at the photo right now. You look
Oh my God,
you look amazing. Your bright red lipstick looks amazing. He looks both look great. Both of your hair is like on fleek. Absolutely. And then you know what else happened, Vanessa Bayer? That same year, right? Jared Leto's Dallas Buyers Club comes out, and then he wins the Oscar the following year. So coincidence? He met you, and then he won the Oscar? I think not. I think
thank you so much, Jane.
I think this just elevated to the next level of his life, meeting you, fulfilling this destiny. I love it. I love this story.
Oh my God.
I do really love that, and I think I probably did have something to do with it. So thank you for pointing that out.
As you said at the start of this podcast, Joanna is like very good at like watching TV, but also understanding the truth of things.
Yes,
you know, yeah.
Thematically, Jared was not ready for his Oscar until he met Vanessa.
Until he met,
yeah, that's true.
Wow.
So that's my Jared Leto story.
You in 12th grade being like, I've really given this thought, and I'm gonna wait. Is incredible.
What confidence for, I know, it's very.
But confidence that was, you were correct.
I wanted to be peers. Okay, now I have a Wilson Cruz story.
Great.
Are you
This
ready
is great.
for it?
I'm so ready for a Wilson Cruz story.
So when I was living in Chicago, I worked at a bunch of different improv theaters. I worked at Second City, and I was one of them. And Second City, I did it. This was a big thing when I was living in Chicago, is they had a deal with Norwegian Cruise Lines. Second City is like this big comedy theater. And they had this deal with Norwegian Cruise Lines where you would, I'm giving you almost too much story, but I'll try and get through it quickly. They had this deal with Norwegian Cruise Lines where you would go onto a cruise ship for like 4 months at a time, and you would perform like sketch comedy, okay, and improv. So I did that for 4 months, and I became really good friends with my still good friend, Ben Engel. So basically, when I was auditioning for SNL in New York, my friend Ben, who I had worked on the cruise ship with when I was at Second City, he invited me to go to a bar. And I think that this was literally, it might have been like the day after I auditioned, or like right after, it was like right after I auditioned for SNL. And I went to this bar and met Ben and his friend who I had met when we were who had visited when we were working on the cruise ship. And I met his friend's boyfriend, who couldn't come on the cruise ship when we were originally there. Okay. So his friend Josh was there with his boyfriend, and I met his boyfriend, and I was like, has anyone ever told you that you look a lot like Wilson Cruz? And he was like, yes, but that's my brother. Wilson Cruz is my brother, and he's right over there. So Wilson Cruz was in the bar.
What?
So what another impactful day. I just auditioned for SNL, and then I meet Wilson Cruz. Okay?
Also, Wilson Cruz has a gay brother?
He has a gay brother who looks so much like him. I know.
Holy shit.
So I met Wilson Cruz, and he was so lovely and nice. And then like I got and I was just like, oh my God, I'm such a fan, whatever. And he was like, and then I got on SNL, and I would, whenever Ben would have like a birthday, like I saw Wilson Cruz, like I still like periodically see him. And he was saying that like when he was doing My So-Called Life, I think he said Rachel Dratch and a bunch of the women were such big fans, and he would like go to SNL a lot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because so anyways, but This was not a great story, and I just built up to it for too long.
No, but we learned so much. We learned
learned
about
Wilson Cruz's gay brother.
Yes.
Joshua Cruz, who does look a lot like him. Yeah.
Yes.
Also, I think we all agree that Wilson Cruz is the reason you got SNL. Like, right? You're the reason Jared Leto won his Oscar. Wilson Cruz
gets me SNL. I get Jared Leto Oscar.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, okay. So I mean, you have so many stories. You chose betrayal.
Yes.
Do you have like is this an episode? Joanna and I have taped the episode for it, and we're very emotional about the journey.
I started crying at the end.
Yeah, we did too. So do you want to tell us about your feelings? Maybe first of all, I had a question about Violent Femmes because
I wrote down Violent Femmes as my first note.
Did you get into Violent Femmes because of this episode?
I think so. I remember being so into that song, and I think it was because of this episode.
Right.
And the way that they use it is it's so cool, the way they start that episode off. And seeing her like dancing to it, you're just like, what could be cooler? And also, was that before it was very expensive to do that? Like
to get the music?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I don't know.
But I don't like, I also feel like this helped push the Violent Femmes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're right.
I would imagine, because it was before, like now when music is licensed, they're licensing it for digital streaming and all this stuff. And I don't think that was as much of the case. But Joanna, you and I were talking about how like 90210 was really like kind of the beginning of like bands.
Are we going to talk about Peach Pit After Dark again? I could do that.
I love talking about the
Also, did you guys see the reboot?
No, I didn't.
Okay,
well, Joanna
they do go to a bar and see Ray.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
You know how Donna was dating that guy?
Yeah.
Ray?
Yeah.
And he's
didn't they do like a spin-off for him, I thought?
Well, no, I think that he, maybe, but I think that he has like had trouble working since then because.
Oh, for sure.
Because he played like, he was like abusive to Donna.
Yeah, it was a violent,
but
domestic
his song was so successful. Hold on.
Yeah.
How does it go?
I literally will hate myself so much for this.
Joanna, do you remember how it goes?
I want to hear Vanessa sing it and promise not to release it if you sing it.
I do. I can promise that.
Okay, it goes like this. I don't believe you.
But I will cut it out and send it just to you.
Okay.
So that
I don't believe that you'll cut it out, but I'll sing it. It goes like, hold on, it feels a little. No, it's just like, hold on to me. Then a dinner said,
hold on to feel a little stronger. Hold on to me. Yeah, I'm not saying hold on. Everything's gonna be alright. Just hold on.
You would remember it. You guys should probably look it up and play it on the podcast.
Did she also date?
You know what's really upsetting is you said Ray, and in my head I'm like, yeah, Pruitt, and that is the character's last name.
His last name
wow.
is Pruitt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
did he throw it down the stairs?
No, his number.
Yes.
Right?
James.
He did throw her down the stairs, I think.
It's right. Very
I can sing. So James Leland Walters Jr. is the actor who played Ray Pruitt, and I can sing one of his songs.
Great.
He had a #1 single. And it goes, I believe, like this. How do you talk to an angel?
How do you hold it close to where you are?
Yes.
Oh, wait.
Thank you. That's what I. Okay.
Wait, that is the song. Wait,
Yeah.
what is hold on?
What were you singing?
I don't know.
Because how do you talk to an angel is what I thought the song was.
It
And I was
was.
like, was there another boyfriend who played the
Wait.
guitar and sang, how do you talk?
I'm looking this up.
How do you hold it close to being
Exactly.
in
And then he didn't have a spin-off, but they gave him another show called The Heights, which was very short-lived. That's what
And
I was
wait,
remembering.
but it wasn't a spin-off. He didn't play the same
No, but he played a
character.
musician on The Heights because, like, you know, he's the how do you talk to an angel guy.
Oh,
You guys, he also had a song called Hold On.
Okay.
you just bought his album after.
Do you guys like that I know the less?
The B-side of how do you talk to an angel?
But I don't think he wrote this song. Okay, anyways.
Okay, so
I was doing the deeper cut of the Ray Pruitt song.
so Is this for you the most iconic scene in the series? Like, do you have because we talked about the Violent Femmes scene in it.
Oh my God. You know, my friend, I remember being in 7th grade, and I remember my friend Gigi, like I remember we were so obsessed with the episode where they hold hands, with the boiler room.
God. I saw it. When you said it, I saw it.
Like I could.
The way he grabs her hand.
The way he grabs her hand. It is like, here's the other thing that I was noticing when I was watching last night is like, even though like when you're a teen or pre-teen, whatever, you like are like, oh my God, Jordan Catalan is so dreamy. I have to say, like, Jared Leto is so good in it.
I just want to agree with you. I think this is my favorite Jordan episode. Like, I think this is Jared's. I think Jared was like always good on the show and then only just got better and better as it went on. And I think this is my favorite of his performances. Maybe this or the finale. It's hard to say. But but like this like 1995 run of episodes, like because there's like the tutoring stuff, then there's this, and then there's the finale, and I think all of that stuff is really good.
Well, it's sort of
Jordan stuff.
Not that Jordan was one-dimensional before this, because he wasn't, but he had like his what he was communicating to us watching the show was like, he's a really cute guy who like doesn't really pay attention to stuff.
Right.
But so now we've like turned this corner where he has feelings that he doesn't know what to do with. So he's just like kind of cracked open in this episode that I think continues, where we're seeing like Jared Leto's like he's playing more than one thing all like at the same time. Yeah.
But like when he has that interaction with Angela where he's like, I think this is your pen.
Joanna, you said that was your favorite scene in the episode,
it's
right?
so.
I think it is. It's the pen episode. It's the pen scene. Well, I mean, like the end makes me cry, but like it's either the pen scene or that gym scene where like she and Rayanne are just like looking at each other and there's like no dialogue and it's so tense and you're like, what's gonna happen?
Were you doing theater in middle school when you were watching this?
I think 7th grade. I think that was the last year I did it until like college.
Okay.
But yeah, 7th grade.
I want to know whatever visual you pulled up in your mind when I asked you that question, because you can't see Vanessa, but you like, I saw you see yourself in 7th grade.
Well, look, I was in 6th grade. I was the Blue Fairy in the community production of Pinocchio, and then I took such a fall in 7th grade, and I was like in Peter Pan. I was like a background, like Indian, not right. Culturally.
One of Tiger Lily's like people.
Yeah, and it was like, you guys know I'm better than this. And I remember I was in like ski club or something, even though I hated skiing and I still do. I'm so scared of it. But in Ohio, you have to like at least pretend to do ski. And I remember my mom, and to her credit, like a lot of attitude for my mom. I remember my mom called like the theater, like the head of like the play, and was like, so Vanessa's gonna have to miss some rehearsals because she has ski club, and honestly, this part like doesn't really require, I don't think, her to be there.
Oh my God.
That's not how my mom was, but I was so, because it was like, imagine like I could have been like, I was going for like
you Wendy. Could have been Wendy.
Yeah.
Could have been a great Wendy.
And actually in I believe the 6th grade, not community production, I was Mrs. Darling and Tiger Lily. And I was like kind of lightly cheated out of Wendy that time, but it was like, okay, cool. I've still got to come back. Then in the community production, be cheated out again. Obviously, like I've gone on to do SNL. I don't care. I don't think about it.
No, but like you think about it a lot, obviously. And I think what we need to have happen is like a production of Peter Pan where you finally get to play Wendy.
Thank you so much. I mean, doesn't it just seem natural that I would be Wendy?
Yeah, you seem very much like a Wendy. Absolutely.
Yeah. And like, not to bring it back around or whatever, but sure, like you've done all these incredible things now, blah, blah, blah. But there's something about like our childhoods that like always are with us, which I think is, I get from you that when you watch this show, you feel the way that like I feel. And I think Joanna, you feel where it like, I don't know, it like pushes these buttons of emotions that are just like miles away from you now, but they're still in there.
It is weird how it sort of makes you almost revert like, okay, here comes a true brag story. But once, I think my 2nd season on SNL, Paul McCartney was a musical guest, and it was like so cool. And he was like, we got to meet. He's so nice and everything. And my parents came to the show, and I got to like introduce them to him. And my mom was like, so.
Did she lose her mind?
she kind of lost her. She was like, kind of could keep it, but then he performed and they came to the dress rehearsal and the live show. So the dress rehearsal show, we stood on the floor and like watching my mom listen to Paul McCartney, like she was kind of jumping up and down. And it's like, I saw her be a teenager.
Wow.
One of the greatest things I ever got to do was like, that was like one of my favorite memories from SNL was like seeing my mom but it was like, it's so funny how like, when stuff from when you were younger, like when you see it, you just like, I just was back.
You become like that. You become that age again in a sense, or like it opens up something.
That was my favorite commentary on the I don't know when this is going up. The Screen Actor Guild Awards just happened, and there was that like viral Jen Aniston Brad Pitt photo.
Oh my god!
And I think the reason it's so strong is it makes us all feel like it's 15 years. Not much time has passed since 15 years ago. You know what I mean? Like
honestly.
we all get to like time travel together, and what a delight for us. So.
Totally.
And like you know, that's a good point, Joanna, because like I read something about like, oh, people have all these feelings about this like Brad and Jen pick because it's like this proof that we all want that like things don't like doors never fully close and like whatever. And I think there's like that's probably part of why we like have this attachment to things from the past, because Jordan Catalano isn't just Jordan Catalano for any of us. He's like, for you, like your first real crush, honestly, for me, it has to be one of the very earliest crushes that I had. And so there's like something that like is personal that's connected to these characters, or I guess in Brad and Jen's case, they're real people. I'm sorry, guys.
There's a kind of similar photo of Jared and Claire, except like he's super styled out, like he's got a crazy mohawk for like, you know, some band stuff he was doing or whatever.
Yeah, I remember that face.
So like they don't quite look like they match the way that like Brad and Jen do, because they're both like very like sunny California, like, oh my god, your hair is honey gold, my hair is honey gold sort of thing. You know what I mean? But like Claire and Jared, it looks more like Angela's running to Jordan and he's very much onto a different phase, and she's like, it's so nice to see you after all these years, but not like they look like they belong together. You know what I mean? But it's similar.
Right.
But you still get that like thrill. It's why those Entertainment Weekly reunion photo shoots are so like powerful, because you're just like,
it's why nostalgia is the thing.
you're like, look, it's Felicity and Ben and Noel all in the same photo. Oh my
They all
god,
still exist.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so what else do you have written in your notes?
Here's what else I have written now. Okay, for the first line that I remembered really clearly is when Rand's like, well, you got your wish to Sharon, you're the favorite couple,
right?
When they're in the bathroom and Rand's like, you know, like, you got your wish, you have a reason to hate me or whatever. And she's like, you must be really happy about all of this. And Sharon goes, okay, I'm going to do my best job of her. She goes like, no, I'm not.
yes.
I remember that so well.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
Davin Odessa bringing it to
Seriously. Oh my god.
Hallie, this is the second time in the episode, in this season, and this is a real pet peeve of mine on TV, that people have eaten Chinese food out of the cartons. I just don't think anyone really does that in real life.
Yeah.
And it's also pretty unsanitary.
It wasn't a big TV thing. I feel like
it was.
Right?
And they do it. They remember like Rayanne and Angela and Ricky do it like earlier, I think.
Yeah.
But Hallie's they do such a good job of making her be so like irritating. It's really funny. It's a really good Brian episode, I think, too, because he's like, he feels so.
I think we talked about this a little bit in the main betrayal episode, but it's like, you see how much Brian cares for Angela in a way that we haven't seen a lot of, because he's kind of been like the character that's like, meh.
Yeah.
But in this one, he's like really sad for her.
It's like, I think you can draw a line between that great Sharon line that you just impeccably performed and this Brian thing, which is like, these two characters could be the shittiest versions of themselves and like gloat about Jordan or Rayanne or whatever, but that's not who they are, and that's not what the show is. The show is not about that. The show is about finding the humanity in all of these characters. And so for Brian, he's like, fuck. He's not like, yes, finally I'm in. He's like, fuck, this is gonna be so bad, and that's it.
It's like, you know, if you have a crush on somebody and you want to be with them, but then you like really have feelings for them, if they break up with the person that they were with, you're like kind of psyched because you're like, well, but then they're really sad.
Yeah.
So you care about that. And yeah, I agree. I think it's a really good episode for so many of the characters.
The one thing about the episode that I don't love, that I think is kind of unnecessary, is it's a little TV, like, to me, when I love when Ricky comes in to, like, you know, talk to her. She, like, won't leave the bathroom, Angela. But when she's like, I too can play at this game, it's a little like, are we watching Saved by the Bell? You know what I mean? Like how like someone, and then when she like braids her hair and crimps it, it's a little like, she could have still done all of that stuff and tried to make out with Corey and ask for a drink, like just dressed as herself. Like the fact that she like put braids in her hair, like it's a little like, you guys, I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's funny because it's like maybe the equation is off because it's like one too many things. Because Joanna, you talked about this, and we talked about it more like the lines where she's like, does anybody have a drink?
Right.
But it's like one, like maybe
one or the other. You're right. Like if she had just braided her hair and like, it almost would have been, that actually I do think would have been better. And then just like acted like herself and then been like, why do you like that?
Right.
But yeah, like all of it combined was like a little bit like, let's go in Mr. Belding's office and like, a little, and I'm just so used to that show not doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like they don't.
I agree. Take like 20% off the top, and
totally.
Yeah.
That scene is actually one of the lines that is in my head from the series forever, which is when she says, I could kill them both with my hands. I told Joanna this in the main episode, but I said that like if I was mad at somebody for like a decade,
That's so funny.
I would be like, I could kill them with my hands. And I almost forgot where it came from until we watched the scene.
Oh, I love when Rayanne comes over and she talks to Patty, and Patty's like, and she says like, like when she gets there and when she leaves, like, don't tell Angela I was here. And Patty is so, and I love that Patty's so understanding and like doesn't judge her. And then I love when Camille is over and Patty doesn't tell Camille what's going on, like why Angela isn't tight. And then you find out kind of why later, but it's so nice.
When you were rewatching it, like, do you remember feeling that way about the Patty stuff? Like, was it new how you felt about Patty and Rayanne, or do you think?
I don't remember how I felt about it, but I don't remember thinking about it as much. It was such a big part of the episode for me now, and I don't remember it being such a big part then.
Yeah, it is really. I mean, watching them interact and like watching Patty open up to connect parts of herself to these friends of Angela's that like she didn't like out of the gates.
Yeah.
It's almost like the show is really good or something.
Yeah, and by the way, I misremembered so much of the ordering of the show. Like I thought the Boiler Room episode where they hold hands, I thought that was the 4th episode.
Where is it? Like
it's like
8 or 10?
Yeah, it's like much later. I also thought that the moment with Ricky coming to Mr. Katimski's house, do we think that Mr. Katimski is because of Jason Katims? Is that his name?
Jason Katims?
Katims, yeah. Do you think he's named after him?
I do.
Jason,
I do now. It's sort of like when we talked about Mark Pisnarski and the character of Piz on Veronica Mars, and how that's definitely for that.
Crazy.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
I agree.
This is just something that I put together before Joanna did, and I can't believe
that was your true goal.
Only time I'll ever have. But I thought that moment when he comes to their door and he doesn't have a place to live happened in that last episode. I didn't realize. And something that I do remember from, I think that when I was talking to Wilson Cruz, he said that when they were filming My So-Called Life, they always would get like, think they were canceled and then get extended a little and then think they were and I actually think that's why when you guys were talking about why does it end the way it does, I think it's because they never knew if it was the finale.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's why there's 19, and that's also why, like, I think the last few, they were like, do we have enough? Do we not? Like, they just kept getting canceled and
Is it this? Yeah, because So-Called Angels could have easily been a finale, right? Like, that could clearly have been a finale.
Imagine if we had to stop there.
Resolutions is a hard one to be a finale, but Betrayal could have been a finale. And then Weekend feels like almost a filler. Not in a bad way, because I like Weekend, but like, you know, they were just sort of
Jordan
like,
is not in Weekend. Am I right?
I don't think so. I mean, if he is, it's a scene that I don't remember because that whole episode, it's just like
at the Chase house and then the vacation.
the handcuffs on the bed, and
I guess that's where they save money, right? It's the, what do you call it? Like the bottle.
It's basically a bottle episode,
right? Because it's like in the bedroom and at the lodge.
Yeah, it's interesting, and then like this whole question of why they didn't come back for a season 2, and like one of the stories that they told for a while was that like, Claire wanted to do her movie career, and then Claire Danes said something that I think was really fair and whatever, where she was like, I don't know when she gave this interview, but she was saying, I don't think it was fair for anyone to ever pin the future of a network TV show on like a teenager. I was a teenager. Like that's not fair to put on me in any way. So
well, and also I don't think that they were treated very, like, I think like had it been like a show where they were like, you have 21 episodes, I think that they were sort of like treated like this show that was like on shaky ground.
Yeah, I think it was like always up in the air, but then she won the Claire won the Golden Globe that year, because Golden Globes loves to do that, where they're like, who's the new girl that we can give to? So they give it to Claire, and I feel like that, in addition to whatever, because the ratings weren't great, but like that, and plus the critical acclaim probably got them their second season, and then it was just sort of like, well, Claire doesn't want to do it, and that's not like on her, but it was just sort of like, okay, let's just leave it there. And then it'll always be this perfect little gemstone, and I'm actually okay with that. I know Kristin doesn't agree with me, but
no, I do.
Okay.
I mean, like I want and wish to know what would have come, but I also
well, do you know? Did you ever have the DVD box set? Which
I didn't.
They have this booklet in it where Winnie Holtzman kind of talks about what maybe would have happened.
Oh yeah,
which is, I think, like Sharon would maybe get pregnant, and
right. Joanna has and Brian and Angela were the sort of
Graham was gonna leave Patty, and Patty was gonna unravel. I just like that's a lot.
Oh, wow,
it's a lot. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know about that. I don't know about a lot of those ideas for season 2.
Yeah.
So
and for that I do agree with you, Joanna. Is like I do like that what I get, what we all get, is this like perfect little box of DVDs, but 19 episodes that are really amazing.
So good.
I want to know what the rest of your lines are.
The next one, I was just looking. The next one is when Rayanne goes up to Angela when they're like painting, when she wants to talk to her, and she goes like, this is cutting some of it out, but she goes like,
because I already know how you're
she goes, you lost nothing. I lost everything. It's not that good of an impression. It's actually a bad impression.
I sit totally silent because my fear is that I would possibly interrupt this beautiful experience.
And then, I know that I said that I wanted to do this episode because of Jordan Catalano. However, I remember this play at the end. That made me cry so hard when Angela steps in and does the other part, and they're performing this play together.
Ugh.
It is so gut-wrenching about someone leaving Earth, and I didn't appreciate what I had. And then, what does Angela say? She goes like, we know when she's crying.
She says, I'll tell you what she says. No, I want to just tell Vanessa the line, the words, and then you repeat.
Because I'm going to try and do it, because it's in a half-crying voice.
Yeah, she said, the line is, were you happy?
Yeah, she goes, her chin fully
the biggest quiver of the series.
And she goes, like, it comes out like, were you happy? Like she like has like a tear
in her mouth. Her mouth is full of her tears, right?
Yeah, or like a bubble full of tears.
And I was crying, like just talking about it now, I'm starting to tear up. It made me it's the most beautiful, like yeah.
And they like give this silence too. It's like, because I put the sound clip in the main episode, and the silence that they give between when Rayanne finishes her line and when Angela starts her line is just like expansive silence. And you're just looking at her face, and she can't get the line out, and her chin is quivering. And it's like
so. And then I thought after that was over, they would cut to Mr. Katimsky, just because that's kind of a thing, and he would be sort of, but they like didn't, like they were like, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. And then that thing at the end was like, and dance by the light. And I'm like, oh, I remember being so sad whenever that would come on because I'd be like, it's over now.
Oh, you just
have to wait
have
till
one
next
more week. Do you remember finding out when the show was canceled? Like, were you?
I remember you signed a petition, right?
I did not sign a petition. I created
Wow.
a petition.
Wow.
I do, and I remember when it was on MTV because I watched it, you know, when it was
Right.
on ABC when it was really first coming out. When it was on MTV, I remember kind of like hoping that there were going to be new episodes because I didn't really understand how that worked, and they would have like Claire Danes and Jared Leto like sitting in like a booth at like a thing and like kind of narrating like, here comes the next episode or whatever.
Yeah, they did like behind. Like, behind, or what was it? What's the music video? What's the VH1 behind the
Behind the
video?
music?
Yeah.
But it was like that style where you were like learning stuff.
But they would like be backstage, like kind of like doing the interstitial stuff, and so you were like, oh, maybe they're still working together. Maybe they're still filming the show.
Right. And I remember reading somewhere that like there was a frustration around how much like that they could have done that earlier to get the, you know, like they could have like sort of tried harder to get people to watch it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh.
And when I was on SNL, I always wanted Claire Danes to host and 30 Seconds to Mars to be the musical guest. And then I was like, I know Wilson lives here.
God.
I was like,
you were like
trying to mastermind.
Did you ever pitch My So-Called Life sketches on the show?
What a great question.
No, but my brother and I have this web series that Ingrid was on called Sound Advice that I hope to bring back at some point. And we tried to turn it, at one point we had pitched like, we tried to turn it into like a half-hour show, and the pilot didn't get picked up, but we wrote it. And we had so many My So-Called Life references in it. It was me and my brother and our friend Pete Schultz. We spent literally like there's like 4 to 5 My So-Called Life, like long sections.
Right. Oh, give us the content we deserve. God damn it.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I know that you have lots of things to do. But
I could talk to you guys forever.
This has been so wonderful. I'm so glad that we got to talk to you.
I'm so happy. It was such a dream to talk to both of you.
Joanna, do you have any final thoughts for Vanessa?
No, I'm just filled with joy. And I will now be imagining every line we encounter going forward. Like, what would Vanessa's impression
What would
of
Vanessa
this be?
say? Yeah. We may call on you in the last couple of episodes. Vanessa, can you do a line reading for this one?
Can you read Jordan's letter that Brian actually wrote? Thanks so much.
Oh my God. I forgot that that's ahead of us. Woo! Can you tell, I mean, everybody knows, you know, the things that you're doing, but do you have any like immediate projects that you're working on right now that you want people to go and find?
Well, I do have this children's book out now called How Do You Care for a Very Sick Bear, which is like if you have a friend who's sick, like what to do for them, which is basically show up. And it's kind of based on, you know, my experience, which I referenced earlier in relation to Jared Leto, yes. But so I have that out now. And then, other stuff is pretty early in development. So I think my dad just told me that on February 6th, I'm going to be in Will and Grace and Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
All on the same day?
On the same night.
Holy shit.
My dad just texted it.
A night of Vanessa Bayer.
I love that your dad is on top of it.
Yeah, your dad.
He always
Does he have a Google alert?
Like I think before like the network.
When you started that sentence, I thought you meant like your dad was like actualizing something for you, like being like, my dad just told me that like if I believe hard enough, I will be in these two things. So you're like, no, my dad is all over my schedule. No worries.
Yeah. So February 6th, I believe it is.
February 6th, let us all celebrate. Amazing.
Double Bear, I love it.
Yeah, Double Bear. That's very fun.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being on this. It's so great.
Thank you guys. I mean, it's just been a dream, both of you, to talk to you.
One last question. I know your friend's here, and I don't need to hold you up, but do you have a best use of flannel, like from this episode or in general?
You know what I was noticing a lot is I love Ricky's coat. That gray coat that he wears a lot. Yeah. I actually bought a coat that like kind of looks like that, and it was just sitting in my closet. I bought it a couple years ago on sale. Not a big deal. I got a great deal on it. But it's like, you know, that's like big sleeve. Like I love it. That coat is so. I love it.
That's true, and it is. I'm trying to like picture it. It is like a plaid, like a tight plaid.
Yeah, and pattern. It's like such a big, oversized, kind of cool. Mm-hmm. I just love it. And also, like, Angela's coat that's like
that like not
yeah,
like
I hadn't seen it in a while, and I'm like, this is old friend.
Giving the coats the attention they deserve.
Yes.
Amazing. Thank you, Joanna, for remembering.
Yes.
The cornerstone here.
Can I try and do Go Now Go with you guys?
Oh my God. Yes.
Yes.
Joanna leads it, actually. Joanna has to say yes or no.
Oh my God, what a dream. Okay. Yeah, so
should we look? Wait, I have a question before we start. Should we look at each other or not look at each other? So
don't look at each other. Right, it's cheating.
Because Joanna, we can't look at Joanna. So okay, we're not looking at each other. Okay. It's actually a hilarious.
Okay, so until next time. Go. I feel it. It's pretty good.
I hear a voice in my mind. I know her face by heart. Heaven and earth are moving in my soul. I don't know where to start. Tell me the words to define the way I feel about someone so fine. How do you talk to an angel? How do you hold her close to where you are? How do you talk to an angel? It's like trying to catch a falling star.
Goodbye, Kyle!
Did the sound of those words call to you like Pavlov's dog? Then you might enjoy our podcast, Turtle Time.
Every week, you can join me, Riley Hamilton, and my co-host, Amy Scarlatta, as we cover the most pressing Bravo news and dig into the new episodes to answer important questions like, who the hell is Adrian Malouf in this world?
Listen to Turtle Time on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes every Wednesday and Friday.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, Tom.
Okay, so you want to tell him, or you want me to tell him?
No. I got this. People out there.
Yeah.
People, lean in. Get close. Listen, here's the deal.
We have big news.
We got monumental news. We got snacktacular news.
Yeah, after a brief hiatus, my good friend Michael Ian Black and I are coming back.
My good friend Tom Cavanaugh and I are coming back to do what we do best.
What we were put on this earth to do.
To pick a snack.
To eat a snack.
And to rate a snack.
Scientifically.
Emotionally.
Spiritually.
Mates is back.
Mike and Tom Eat Snacks is back.
A podcast for anyone with a mouth.
With a mouth. Available wherever you get your podcasts.